She was the granddaughter of Emperor Alexander II and the cousin of Nicholas II. Her beauty was extolled by Remarque and Saint-Exupéry. She graced magazine covers and inspired the French elite, yet she was unhappy and ended her days in seclusion. Today I will tell you about the magnificent jewelry of Natalia Paley and how an aristocrat in exile conquered the world of French fashion but never found true happiness. In the early 20th century, the job of a model was far from being a dream for many girls and wasn't associated with a privileged life. So when aristocrat Natalia Paley told her mother she would work as a model, the news was akin to a catastrophe for the family. Natalia Paley was the daughter of Prince Paul Alexandrovich Romanov, granddaughter of Emperor Alexander II, and a cousin of Nicholas II. For a time, her family lived abroad but eventually returned to the Russian Empire. The familiar course of their aristocratic life was altered dramatically with the onset of the 1917 revolution. When the Bolsheviks seized power, soldiers were quartered in the Paley mansion and the family was placed under house arrest. Natalia's half-brother, Grand Duke Dmitry, was involved in the assassination of Grigory Rasputin in 1916, for which he was exiled to the Iranian border. Her brother, Prince Vladimir Paley, was killed by revolutionaries in July 1918, and a year later her father was executed. By some miracle, Natalia's mother and her two daughters managed to escape, deciding to flee to Europe. They spent some time in Sweden before moving to Paris, where many friends and relatives had found refuge. Despite their royal lineage, the Paley family faced significant hardships. Their funds dwindled, and Natalia had to find work. She announced her decision to become a mannequin. At that time, the profession was considered lowly, and her mother was horrified by the news. However, she eventually softened and allowed her daughter to model, convinced it would ruin her life. Yet, Natalia's wide network of acquaintances helped her enter the highest circles of Parisian society. In Paris, she met Coco Chanel, who was captivated by her beauty and recommended her to couturier and fashion house founder Lucien Lelong. The designer instantly fell under Paley's spell and made her not only his favorite model, but also his wife. Even while married, Natalia began an affair with ballet dancer Serge Liffard, who performed in Diaghilev's Ballets Russes. Their romance lasted 2 years. Eventually, when Serge had to choose between Natalia and his career, he chose the latter. Her relationship with Lelong quickly deteriorated, though they didn't officially divorce until 10 years later. After parting ways with the couturier, Paley married theater producer John Chapman Wilson and pursued an acting career in the United States while continuing to model. However, her personal life remained fraught with difficulty, as her marriage to Wilson proved unhappy due to his struggle with alcoholism. Natalia would go on to have 2 more significant relationships, both with renowned writers. In the early 1940s, she met Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. A year after their meeting, he returned to France but continued to write to her. Soon after, Natalia encountered Éric Maria Remarque. Their relationship lasted 11 years, beginning with intense passion and jealousy on both sides, but gradually becoming more tranquil. When Remarque moved to Switzerland, Natalia joined him. Their relationship ended when Remarque fell in love with actress Paulette Goddard. Natalia then decided to return to the United States to her nearly forgotten husband. In 1961, John Wilson succumbed to cirrhosis of the liver, and Natalia suffered from a severe form of depression. The last decade of the legendary Parisian-style icon's life was marked by profound loneliness, as she seldom interacted with the outside world. In the early 1980s, Natalia Paley Wilson fractured her hip. The doctors delivered a grim diagnosis. She would remain immobile for the rest of her life. Confined to a bed in an empty room, she couldn't bear the solitude and took her own life. Natalia was 76 and did not wish to be a burden to anyone. "I want to leave with dignity," she wrote in her final note. But let's take a look at the exquisite jewelry she left behind, starting with the pearl corsage. When Princess Alexandra of Greece and Denmark married Grand Duke Paul Alexandrovich of Russia, son of Tsar Alexander II, she received many splendid wedding gifts, including an exquisite pearl and diamond corsage. Adorned with 3 large pearl buttons and 3 substantial pear-shaped pearls in a skillful diamond setting, this piece likely held the status of a Romanov family heirloom. After Grand Duchess Alexandra Georgievna's death during the childbirth of Grand Duke Dmitry Pavlovich, her jewels passed to Grand Duke Paul, though some were given to their daughter, Grand Duchess Maria Pavlovna. Soon after, the Grand Duke began a romance with the married noblewoman Olga Karnovich, who scandalously wore the family jewels to a ball at the Winter Palace, from which she was subsequently ejected. Eventually, the couple fled to Paris and married, with Olga receiving the morganatic title of Countess von Hohenfelsen from the Bavarian king. They had 3 children and were only allowed to return to Russia in 1908, when the pearl and diamond corsage of Grand Duchess Alexandra Georgievna was redesigned by Cartier into a corsage for the future Princess Paley, a title bestowed upon the princess and her children by Tsar Nicholas II. Princess Paley was captured wearing the pearl and diamond corsage by Cartier at a ball hosted by Madame Irthub in Paris in 1912. The corsage was styled as a headpiece, while her diamond tiara by Cartier was worn as a corsage along with other jewels. After her death in 1929, the corsage was sold at auction by her 2 daughters, Princess Irina and Princess Natalia, and its current whereabouts remain unknown. Another stunning piece of Natalia's jewelry collection is an incredible gold ring adorned with diamonds and zircons, crafted by one of Natalia's friends, the designer Fulco di Verdura. He worked for Chanel until 1934, when he and Natalia ventured together to the United States. There, in 1939, he founded his own firm, Verdura. The ring, described as a band of baguette-cut zircons in a channel setting bordered by single-cut diamonds in bezel settings, leading to a ribbed gold edge, was made in 1947. Another remarkable piece was an unusual set of gold, diamond, and enamel jewelry created in France in the 1880s. The set includes a bracelet, a pair of earrings, and a brooch. The gold bracelet is adorned with 3 rose-cut diamonds in a geometric pattern, set with black enamel lines and a grid, as are the matching brooch and earrings, which also feature dangling rose-cut diamonds. Let's also admire this breathtaking silver necklace with moonstones crafted by socialite Millicent Rogers. An avid collector and advocate for art and design, Rogers also created jewelry inspired by her passions. This necklace, believed to have been a personal gift from Rogers to Natalia, is described as a large hammered silver plate from which dangles a fringe of smaller silver plates set with moonstone cabochons on a hammered silver chain. Another favorite jeweler of Natalia's was Cartier. This gold, diamond, and emerald bracelet, dating from around 1940, features a clasp. The bracelet comprises spiral gold links with square cabochon emeralds and sugarloaf emeralds at the ends, accented by old mine and single-cut diamonds. One of the most captivating pieces in any auction is this charming citrine and peridot chestnut brooch. Though unsigned, it is rumored to have been crafted by René Boivin. The brooch is described as a stylized chestnut, set with round and oval peridots, opening to reveal calibrated citrines. This fantastic 19th century tiara is yet another highlight of the collection. Designed to be worn on a turban, this piece features pearls, enamel, emeralds, diamonds, and other pale gemstones. Another intriguing piece is a bird crafted from gold and silver, topped with a flower adorned with polychrome enamel and set with antique rose-cut and flat-cut diamonds, as well as other nearly colorless gems. The eyes are set with cabochon emeralds, and a tassel of fine pearls ending in emerald beads dangles below. Shortly before her wedding to John Wilson in 1937, Natalia wore the tiara as a brooch in her engagement portrait. In 1943, Verdura also created these fantastic dogwood-inspired jewels for Natalia. The brooch and matching earrings are adorned with pink tourmalines and yellow sapphires. The set is described in the lot notes as a flower-patterned brooch clip, decorated with cabochon pink tourmaline petals and yellow sapphires of various cuts at the center, along with decorative gold accents and a pair of matching earrings. Natalia also owned 2 magnificent rings. The first is a stunning diamond ring by Verdura, crafted in the 1940s. The 6-carat Marquise diamond is surrounded by round diamonds. The other ring is a mesmerizing sapphire and diamond creation by Cartier. The Salon Emerald Cut Sapphire weighs an impressive 15.92 carats, surrounded by 2 bullet-shaped diamonds. Comment below on which piece you liked the most. Subscribe to the channel. See you next time!